Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. With the name of Allah Almighty, the most beneficent and the most merciful, we are having a coffee with CEO session with one and only in Pakistan, especially one of the company working in Pakistan, the paid investment. It's a Pakistan Iran Investment Company. This is basically a gift to the youth, and especially the people who are seeking direction, who are seeking jobs and seeking inspiration and motivation from the CEOs. So today we have a very different kind of the CEO. He's not Pakistani. He's based in Iran but working in Pakistan. Mr. Abbas Daneshvar Hakimi Meibodi, and it's a very unique name. He's a managing director of a paid investment in Pakistan. So let's talk about Abbas. Abbas, what is the meaning of Abbas Daneshvar Hakimi Meibodi? Very unique name, sir.
Yeah, very unique name. Let me just start with the name of Allah, the Compassionate, the Merciful. And let me just actually start with a very famous Iranian poem from Sa'di. You know actually Sa'di very well. Hope actually you also understand the meaning. Sa'di says, بنی آدم اعضای یک پیکرند که در آفرینش ز یک گوهرند چو عضوی به درد آورد روزگار دیگر عضوها را نماند قرار. And coming back to your question about my name and my family name, yes, my name is Abbas Daneshvar Hakimi Meibodi. I think you can understand the meaning of Daneshvar. Daneshvar comes from Danish and science, knowledge, and Hakimi comes from Hikmat, and Meibodi is someone from Meibod, because I am originally from Meibod, and Meibod is a very small city near to Yazd in the center of Iran, and Meibod is the hub for tile and ceramic in Iran.
Sir Abbas, a really interesting name, because in Urdu, and Urdu is also the few words from Persian and from other languages, and Daneshwar is a very, very, very usually common name in Pakistan. Daneshwar, Mr. Danish, there's a and Danish means wisdom, the hikmah, and then the Hakimi, another word of hikmah,
yeah,
and the wisdom. Sir, share with me. You are working in Pakistan on behalf of your company as a managing director, appointed by the Iranian government and accepted, and you're given the mandate by the Ministry of Finance and Mr. Imran, His Excellency Mr. Imran Khan, the Prime Minister of Pakistan. What are the key perceptions about Pakistan? What are the key challenges when working? Because Pakistan-Iran has very good cultural, historical relationships. What are the challenges? What are the opportunities between the two countries? These are really macro indicators I'm asking. And what are the untapped potential between the two countries, and after the pandemic, a lot of huge opportunities are awaiting. How about you, sir?
Good question. Let me tell you something. Before coming here in Pakistan, when some of my friends and some of my relatives, when they realized that I want to go to Pakistan, they were afraid and they were worried about me, that because they unfortunately due to some reason that we want to discuss more in this meeting also. The Iranian people they have another attitude about Pakistani people. But when I came here, and now for more than 1 year I'm here, my attitude about Pakistan totally changed.
Okay.
Totally changed, and sometimes I don't think that I'm in another country, and I think that I'm living in Iran. One thing is about the culture. I really impressed about the similarity between two cultures that we have. And another thing about the achievements that you have, mashallah, in Pakistan in terms of industry and also in services, agriculture. Before joining PIRE, I thought that Pakistan is a kind of, is a country that's they are actually more in agriculture. But now I realize that the agriculture is around actually 19% of the GDP of Pakistan, and the industry is more than 20%, and that was also very interesting for me. And one more thing that I would like actually to share with you is that actually, we have actually for more than around actually 1,000 kilometers border between two countries. And the population of the Pakistan and Iran is more than 300 million. I mean totally, Pakistan and Iran, more than actually 300 million population we have. And that's actually equivalent to 60% of population of the European Union.
True.
That means actually there is a lot of actually, huge potential market for doing business. But unfortunately, due to some various actually reasons, this good market has been actually neglected for both sides. From Iranian side and also Pakistani side. And one of actually our responsibilities, I think, is that actually to introduce this actually good market to both sides. Maybe actually we need to establish actually some kind of exhibition here in Pakistan, or maybe actually we should actually establish some kind of exhibition actually in different provinces in Iran in order actually to introduce actually the both the market. And as I mentioned earlier, actually my attitude about the Pakistan now after actually 1 year totally actually has changed. And now I think actually I'm Pakistani.
Share with me what are the key learnings during the COVID? What are the impact because on businesses and especially the growth and the pandemic. Due to pandemic, there was a globally and particularly in Pakistan the lockdown. And how did you survive being a managing director? Because the top CEOs, the top man of the company, they are tested in the crisis. How did you manage the crisis of pandemic being a managing director?
As you mentioned, actually the pandemic and COVID-19 changed the world. And Pi also was not actually exception in this regard. But as MDCEO, I strongly believe that actually we should always actually trust our staff. We need actually to trust them. We need actually to motivate them. In pandemic also, I would like also to thank and appreciate my staff. They helped us much, and they knew also the situation. And and also I would like actually to thank SPP, because as our regulator, they we received actually a lot of assistance from SPP. SPP provided actually some kind of different kind of refinancing scheme for banking system and also for DFIs, and Pair also could actually utilize that kind of SPP scheme, and Alhamdulillah we could actually pass this actually very tough situation. But sometimes I think the world actually in the world, we have actually the happiness, and also we sometimes actually we have a tough situation. That's it's a combination between happiness and also tough and testing time, and we should actually pass also this very difficult situation, and Alhamdulillah we could pass also this
Abbas
situation.
Daneshvar, please also enlighten us the two challenges that any CEO of the globe or the Pakistan companies they face. First challenge is their cash flow management, managing the businesses, especially after the struggling time. And the second is a human resource challenge. How did you manage the HR challenge first?
Yeah.
Because the people,
Yeah.
it is very difficult to find the right people for the right job in the country. So how did you manage, or do you manage these two challenges, HR and cash flow management?
Very good question again, actually, from your side. You know, you know that HR, human resource, and that's better actually to say human capitals.
Yes.
I believe that actually our staff, they are actually our human capitals. You know, that's very easy to replace actually your computer, your machine with a new kind of computer, new kind of machine, sofa. Everything actually can be replaced with a new one. But you know, our staff, they are actually all unique for us, you know, because they have actually unique knowledge, unique, the experience about actually their jobs. It's not possible actually to replace them with a new, with a new staff. And so the first and the main actually challenge for me as MDCEO was actually our staff and our employees, because their health and their actually well-being actually was the first priority for actually MDCEO. And another challenge that actually we had during the pandemic actually was our client. You know, our client also, they are actually another kind of capital, I think, you know, because as a BFI, we work in a financial sector. But our clients, you know, actually they are working actually in a real economy. Just actually we can support them because they are actually, our client, they are actually businessmen, and they are actually creating job for the people, and that's actually so necessary for the development of each country, particularly actually the Pakistan. And our clients are also, that was also another challenge for MDCEO, but as I mentioned, actually we could utilize actually some SPP scheme and package that actually they provided us, and we, alhamdulillah, we could actually handle this situation.
Mr. Daneshvar, another question related, what is the development, because you fall in the Pine investment falls in the category of DFIs. How do you see, and especially in the next 3 years, 5 years down the road, the development of DFI sector generally and particularly PAIR? Where do you see PAIR next 5 years? Growth.
You know, as an MDCEO, my vision is that actually to be the premier of DFI, inshallah, in the Pakistan in the next 3 or I don't know, maybe 4 years. I know that actually we have some difficulties, but we need actually to handle this kind of difficulties, inshallah. You know, because I strongly believe actually to the to my actually employees and to my staff. I would like actually to trust them, and then actually they also would like actually to reply to that actually trust, and they also would like actually to work hardly. And I think actually we don't have actually any difficulty, inshallah, in the future
Inshallah.
And another thing that, as because PAI is a joint venture company between Iran and Pakistan, and I hope that actually some kind of difficulties that nowadays we have, these actually would be resolved in the near future, near future, and
yes, sir. Of course, sir. Being a CEO, being a managing director by designation, you are managing a company, and especially in the neighboring country, in other country. 3 competence do you think, Mr. Ijaz, are necessary for running a successful and effective business? What are the core competencies for managing director and CEO to manage?
The first, I think, is actually having positive attitudes. The second actually is that actually being patient. You need actually to be, patient as MDCEO. And another factor is actually having this kind of ability to establish actually good relation with others. Actually communications with people, with the clients, and also with our staff. I think these 3 factors are actually the main factors for being actually MDCEO of any company.
Zabardast, excellent. Sir, going further, sir. Stress is a part of the day. It is a part of the life. It's a fact of life. Being a CEO, because CEO is on the top position. Only wearer knows where the crown is pinching. The shoes wearer knows where shoe is pinching. What are the pain points, and how do you manage your stress, especially your anger? Because in Pakistan people are very emotional, and the clients are emotional, and by DNA we are emotional, sentimental. How do you manage your stress, your anxiety, your anger, especially difficult times?
I do not actually react immediately. I learn actually to be so, quiet and calm, and I would like actually to arrange and to resolve some difficulties that actually we are facing in a very, friendly manner. I think that's actually the best way actually to resolve actually the different issues that actually you have. Whenever actually you react immediately, maybe my recommendation is that actually that's better actually not to react immediately. Yeah.
So you have a very smiling face, very. What is the secret of your smile and happiness? You're so too religious, you are liberal, you are workout, exercise, workout. What is the reason of your happy marriage life? It might be your the better half, the reason of your smile, your happiness.
Maybe actually I had actually very successful marriage. First actually reason is that actually my wife, I would like actually to thank actually her what she has done actually for me. Now actually we are actually talking with each other and enjoying, but now she is actually in the house and she is actually working with my two sons, and another reason is that actually my staff, I'm really actually impressed with very kind staff and employees that actually we have here in PAI, and thanks God.
So last 2 questions, short answer. You love culture, reading any good books you will recommend?
The first and the book that actually I always actually would like to recommend to the young generation and to people actually to read and to ponder more is Quran Kareem. As a Muslim, I think we need to ponder about actually different ayah, different actually surah that actually we have in Quran Kareem. Not actually just to have a very, superficial actually understanding. That's the main difficulty that nowadays, unfortunately, we have. We need actually to think more, to go actually to the details and to ponder about actually different ayah. But I know that actually the young generation actually they would like actually to hear some new books, maybe actually from Western countries, and I can actually recommend them to read for example, I recently actually I read one book that was actually The Magic of Thinking Big. I can recommend this book actually to the young generation.
So last question, any message of optimism for the people of both the countries, young people either Iran or Pakistan, and especially the verses from any the gurus and the great people, Rumi, Razi, Ghazali, and closing lines, very important message from your side.
I think nowadays you see that actually the technology and the science is moving very fast. Day by day you need actually to update yourself with this new technology, new science. But I think as a human we need some we need actually some morals, and we need actually to consider about actually the moral in the future. Nowadays, for example, my younger son, he's actually 6 years old, and he can actually work with my smart, phone better than me.
Yeah.
But I think I would like actually to recommend the young generation particularly that they need also to improve their moral also. Because let me actually tell you one hadith from Prophet Muhammad. He says that actually إنما بعثت لأتمم مكارم الأخلاق.
Wow.
I have come actually here in the world in order actually to complete moral standards.
Ethics.
Moral standards. Nowadays the information is available. You can actually have access to the information, to the data, just by actually, searching in Google. You can actually receive a lot of information, a lot of, data about something. But as a human, we need actually to be more familiar with the literature, with the art, and with the moral, akhlaqiyat, in the values in the Urdu language.
Sir, thank you very much. I'm really honored to talk to you. And one thing which learned, the key learnings of today's conversation with Mr. Abbas Daneshvar, really not only business, he has acumen, but also is a wisdom, especially in the roots, the culture, the values, the moralities, and I sum up the conversation in 3 keywords. The first I learned, sir, I dedicated you. First is positive attitude. The second is passion. The third is commitment. And the last, the only book, we just forgot the lessons and just the rituals. We do not read the Holy Quran with understanding, to learn the wisdom, and I wish and especially for the success of the paid investment in Pakistan, and especially the Abbas Daneshvar. Thank you very much, and see this video on the YouTube channel CEO Today and Ijaz Nisar and our official page, and give us the feedback. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.
Bahut shukriya.
Jazakallah.